Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Little Give. Today, we have Kym Rapier on. I am so excited to peel back the layers of who she is and why she does all the things that she does. Kym, go ahead, introduce yourself. Tell us where you're from. Tell us what you're all about.
Hi, my name's Kym Rapier. I'm from Dallas, Texas, but grew up most of my life in San Antonio, Texas. I started the Kym Rapier Foundation. We travel the world right now and help the underprivileged, mostly women and children. Started in Vietnam, and now we're ending up in Africa right now.
Whoa. Okay, so tell us what got you started on this amazing mission you're on.
When I was 6, I had a friend that had a sister with muscular dystrophy. So I started painting on rocks to sell to try to fix her and donate to muscular dystrophy. That led to me being around 12, and my mission continued by having block parties and trying to raise money for muscular dystrophy still. Then as I grew older, that became my mission in life.
Wow, that's incredible. So what do you think it is about you at such an early age that got you thinking, like, how can I help others?
Well, my friend, I felt bad for her. I wanted to fix her and be able to fix her. I decided at 12 not to have children so that I could devote all my time and hopefully money later on to help people of the world.
That's just amazing. So many kids at, that age would never think to to even help somebody else. Do you have any idea as to what it was that kind of sparked that in you?
I have no idea. It was instilled in me from early. It stayed with me till now, and that's my goal in life, is to help as many people as I can.
Oh, I love that mission. So I know you do so many things. Talk to us about the first thing you started once you kind of moved on to really helping people.
We started mostly with the Boys and Girls Club of San Antonio. We started there, and that was my love for children. I took them scuba diving and taught them how to live and showed them what life could be like. It grew from there to animals and different foundations in San Antonio. After that, we decided to travel the world and do from less fortunate people that couldn't eat or didn't have water. Water's a big issue in Africa, and we just continued to grow in that aspect.
Talk to us a bit about that. And I know a lot of people who in America, they're familiar with turn the faucet on and water comes out. Talk to us a bit about how that's so different in Africa.
The water situation in Africa, the women and children usually gather the water. They walk up to 20 miles with gallons on their heads. Major problem of their disease and illness and everything is from water. The pollution in the water, the animals going to the bathroom in the water. Clean water is very, very difficult to get. So we're working on doing tanks and drilling wells in Africa closer to their villages so that they can have clean water and have resources to cook with. Because boiling the water doesn't get rid of all the diseases. There's multiple diseases and sicknesses from the water in Africa. It's pretty bad.
That's heartbreaking. You talk about Africa and how you've gone there and you've done all these things to really make it a better place. Tell us a bit about how that connection happened. How is it that, you from San Antonio, Texas, ended up in Africa to even see the need there? And then how you decided to start doing something to make that better?
Well, we started everything in the Asia. So we started in Vietnam, in the Philippines, and Thailand. Which spread to Africa. So the water's an issue even there, and the food's an issue even there. The cleanliness, the slums, it's all an issue. So we're traveling the whole world trying to find these places that have solution and big impacts on people. So the most impact we can for the dollar is what we're trying to do. We just don't throw money at organizations and let them be on their own. We're actually boots on the ground. We travel there. We walk the walk. We talk to the people. We dig in deep into what they need and see how many people that we can impact.
Hi,
My name is Justin Clark, and I'm the president of the board of directors for Driving Single Parents, a 501c3 nonprofit serving the citizens of San Antonio and Bexar County, Texas. I'm here today to tell you a little bit about the great work that our organization is doing for the citizens of San Antonio. What you're about to see is just a few photos and videos of the way that we're changing lives for single parents in and around San Antonio, Texas. Our first giveaway took place in April of 2017, just one short month after the formation of our organization. John, a Bexar County resident, was the victim of a horrible drunk driver incident. He and his daughter survived the crash, and we were so proud to give our first car to this deserving family. Fast forward to 2020, a very difficult year for nonprofits. We were able to secure 4 vehicles for single parents in need. Our organization, including our board of directors, list of partners, and portfolio of people we've been able to help in San Antonio, continues to grow, and it's all thanks to donors and local community organizations that have helped us along the way. This giveaway took place in 2021 and shows that we continue to help single parents even after the struggles brought about by COVID-19. Because of limited funds and the overwhelming need, we at Driving Single Parents are incredibly selective with the people we help. Some are victims of domestic violence. Others had a spouse pass away tragically, or otherwise fell on hard times. These single parents show adversity in the face of challenge and aren't looking for a handout. We offer a hand up and help get them back in the driver's seat. Many of the single parents we help go on to graduate college, get promotions, get married, mentor others, and some have even been so touched by the gift we gave them that they have decided to join our board of directors to pay it forward and ensure the continued growth of our organization. If you would like to help our organization continue to grow and continue to help single parents in need in San Antonio, Texas, and Bexar County, Texas, we would really appreciate your support. Please visit us online at www.drivingsingleparents.org. Thank you.
Wow. I think that the work you're doing is so incredible and so necessary. For our podcast listeners, right now we were showing a photograph of a bunch of people, and I see they have a lot of eye patches. What is that? And is that another situation that they're dealing with over there?
Yes. Eyesight is a big deal in Tanzania. So we partnered with the Mohamed Dewji Foundation in Tanzania. They cook inside their homes, and they're usually huts, and they use charcoal and they burn wood. So their eyesight, the walls in their houses are all black. Their eyesight diminishes and goes away. So that means it takes 2 to 3 people to take care of one person, which they can't work. So their income suffers. So by fixing one person's eyesight, it liberates 2 to 3 people in the family to have income. So just one eyesight saved can save a village. So it's very, very relatively cheap to fix the eyes there. So they can fix like 3,000 people's eyes in one eye camp, like 3 days worth of surgeries. It was amazing.
Whoa, that is incredible. So is it that they're cooking inside and that's affecting their vision? Is that the situation?
That's the biggest, yes.
Wow. And so what is it that the clinics do to fix their eyesight? Is it that they do a laser surgery, or can you explain about that?
Some need glasses, some have cataracts. They cover everything from cataracts to eye disease. Just the fact of reading glasses, they supply them with everything. So we partnered with Mohamed Dewji to do this for 3,000 people in Tanzania. It was amazing.
Oh, it's so amazing and so incredible how you are able to help in those ways. we talk a lot about, all the things that are happening there. And, of course, you've been here in America, so you know what it's like here, where you turn on the faucet and water comes out, you flip a switch and electricity comes on. Talk to us a bit about how that's so different in other countries, and how those people cope with that, and how we can help.
There is not electricity in most of their homes, so they do have to burn wood or charcoal. It's easy. It's so simple. Like $5 can feed a family for 2 weeks. The amount a dollar goes in Africa is huge. So that's how people can help, is to donate.
Oh, that's a great example. And it's so amazing to see people like you who are working hard to like really take our eyes basically here in America and show us what's going on in other countries, because I think sometimes we can kind of take for granted that, it's easy here with electricity and water. And these people in other countries are struggling right here in the same world that we live in. And so, like you said, for $5, you can really make a difference in somebody else's life.
Correct.
Talk to us a bit about how you discovered that and really what got you passionate about this.
Well, we decided to have boots on the ground. My health isn't the best. I had a liver transplant 6 years ago. But my calling is to go and hear these people's stories. So we actually travel to these people, sit down, talk with them, find out what they need. We don't waste money. Every dollar has a huge impact. So just sitting down with them and actually finding out what they need, and not telling them what they should do, not telling them how we do things, but listening to their culture, their religion, and really finding out their stories is impactful.
Yeah. And those stories, I can only imagine, I do this TV show. I've been doing this TV show for 2.5 years. And, hearing the stories of all these incredible people who are doing amazing things. Talk to us about some of those stories that you've heard over the years, where you're, listening to these people who are explaining to you how you could maybe help them, or maybe how their life could be better.
Some of the cultures, they're embarrassed by the girl's period. So their period poverty is what it's called. So they can't go to school because they're on their period. They don't have access to clean sanitary pads. So we're actually building a factory in Uganda to employ people, first of all, so it's sustainable, to help with period poverty. They sit in soil to bleed in the soil, instead of having clean pads and bathrooms to go to school with. Another story that we came across, Kashish is her name, and we're building a factory so that she can employ up to 50 women to make pads that are washable. So one pad will last them a year. So they wash them. It's environmentally friendly. We're working on that right now. She's finding a factory there in Uganda and Kampala. So that's a positive.
Yeah, it's such a positive. And, to think about the fact that you're just kind of boots on the ground, like you mentioned, and y'all are literally looking for what are the problems, and how, and which problems can we solve right now, and which problems can we work towards making it better, like
Right.
You mentioned with the water situation, you mentioned with the period poverty and all the things. I just think that's so incredible that you are able to just kind of see what's happening and then find ways to really help these people. What is your favorite part of everything that you're doing to really make a difference in this world?
One of my favorites is education. Education it's so different than the United States. So to send a student to college costs about $3,500 for 3 years, which is nothing. So we're trying to grab a big group of kids and send them to college. We're starting a scholarship program in Kenya. We're starting in Kenya. And we've already started one in Vietnam. So education's very important.
Hi, my name is Andrew Fraley. And I believe that sometimes we all need a little bit of help. If you're in the San Antonio community and you need some legal help, call me at 210-725-4658.
Education is so important. And of course, here in America, we talk about that all the time, right? You got to go to college and all the things. What's that conversation like in different countries? Is that something that people tend to want to go towards, or they just don't have access at all?
They don't have access at all. So one thing that we did was we bought a Starlink so that they're able to communicate and have computers. Just sitting there and talking to them, the kids were so excited that they might have a chance to actually pursue an education. Kashish from Uganda, she had the privilege of going to college. She took business in college, returned to Uganda to help her people. So that's what a lot of them do, is they get an education, then they return to start a business and to employ their own people.
Wow, I think this is so incredible. So incredible. Tell us a bit more about all the efforts that you're making over there in Uganda and all the places in the world that you're really focusing on to really make a big difference, because I know there's so much about you that you are just of service. You know, your focus is really on just helping this broad world in all the ways that you can. So talk to us a bit about that.
Well, another thing that we're focusing on, I'm a big scuba diver. So I've been all over the world scuba diving. And over the years, now that I'm over in different parts of the world, I'm visiting foundations that help our oceans and save our reefs. So I've noticed over the past 10 years, the lack of fish, the overfishing, the corals dead, it's bleached. It's just changed significantly in the past 10 years. So we're focusing a lot on the ocean and the environment. It's sad to see. It made me become a vegetarian just because of the overfishing, the way they do dolphin tours. They're all on top of the dolphins. It's very, very sad. So it's changed my mind just having feet on the ground of what's going on in this world. I've seen it in Asia and I've seen it in Africa. So the more I continue, the worse I think it's going to be.
Oh, wow. I didn't really understand that aspect. You know, I'm a beekeeper, and so I'm really big into like environment and like, of course, I love nature. And so to hear that is just so sad. What is something that maybe we could do here in everyday life that could help with that?
Well, line fishing for one. If you're going to go fishing, you use a line and a pole. A lot of what we've seen was dragging nets. So along the bottom, they drag these nets and they pull up every bit of life that comes in that net and they trash it. So they just throw it away. They don't throw it back. They just throw it away. It's so sad to see. Another thing is plastic bottles. The use of plastic bottles and trash in the oceans is disgusting.
Oh my, that's so heartbreaking. I know a lot of people hear about plastic bottles and plastics and, you know, one-use items and how they're so terrible for the environment. Can you share with the audience a little bit more detail about why it's so terrible? I mean, I know, and I know you know, but let's, you know, kind of share a bit about that so people can understand why it's so tragic.
Well, just from cutting open some of the fish and sharks and stuff that have died, there's six-pack holders, the plastic six-pack holders in their stomachs, and it kills everything. Then turtles are getting caught in those. Gosh, I'm about to do a big program in Mozambique that we're diving with sharks to help see how to help the shark population. In Thailand, we release baby sharks. They farm them now to release them because some people in the world are chopping off their fins because it's a delicacy. Things like that, don't eat that. Don't try that. The same with the elephants in Thailand. Don't ride the elephants because they abuse them to get them docile so that you can ride them. They stick needles or big old thorns in their feet so that they're tame. And when you ride an elephant in the water or whatever, that elephant's been abused. So I'm a big advocate on animals, cruelty.
Oh my goodness. And I am such a big fan of animals and Mother Earth and nature and all the things. So I'm grateful that you're sharing this, because I think some people just don't realize that. You go to the circus and, do you want to ride this elephant? Of course, everyone's like, I want to ride the elephant, but they don't really realize the recourse. So I'm grateful that you're sharing that with us today. What about some other tips that you might have for, us and our listeners that, can help us be better humans?
Just help people, be kind, even volunteering. If money's an issue, just volunteering your time for an organization that needs help. That's a big thing.
That's a huge thing, and I always tell people the one thing that you can do if you don't have the funds to help donate is just share the content. If somebody's posting on social media or somewhere about their nonprofit or what, just share the content. It costs you nothing. And It might put that content in the hands of somebody who wants to learn more about how not to abuse animals, or, the plastics in the ocean, or whatever the mission might be. And so I think that's a really good one. Can you give the audience an example of a little thing that maybe they could do in their, community that might just be a little give on their end, but might make a big impact on the other side?
Anything from helping an old lady in the grocery store, or I had somebody actually donate to me when I was 6 years old when I painted on a rock. So that gave me the inspiration to paint on rocks and sell them. So even a little knowledge towards the younger generation of, how they can help, and teach the younger generation about the ocean and about the wildlife. Little things, little gives.
Yeah, and that's what it's really all about. I think so many people in this world kind of feel like I have to do something grand, I have to donate $10,000, or I have to, volunteer a week of my time every single month, but there's so many little gives that you can do in your community that really do make an impact. So I love that.
Yeah, sorry. Like I said, $5, you can feed a family for a week or two. I mean, it's unbelievable the impact that just a few dollars can make.
It's really, really impactful. And here in the United States, people don't really realize how far $5 can go if you really stretch it. So I'm so grateful that you shared that. Can you give the audience an example of a time in your life where maybe somebody did something little for you that might have just been a little give on their end, but really made an impact on you and in your life?
Yes, when somebody bought my rock, it was the best example. It motivated me to start collecting money for muscular dystrophy. So buying a dollar rock or a glass of my lemonade, because I sold lemonades on the sidewalk. Little things like that inspire people, inspire kids especially, to learn how to give back, because that changed my life and it changed my focus on what I wanted to do later on in life. I had a big give too. 6 years ago, I had a liver transplant, and I was fortunate enough to actually get a liver. I lived in Italy at the time, and I was fortunate enough to be able to have a liver, restart my life. I found God. I found spirituality. I became a completely different person than I used to be.
Wow, that's incredible. And that's a huge give. I mean, I love your examples of, just supporting a little kid. Maybe you see a lemonade stand, or you see them selling a rock on the side of the road, or you see them trying to find ways to be creative and learn how to have that entrepreneur mind. I love how you shared that really impacted you. And I hope everybody who's listening today really takes the time to think about that. When you see that little kid who's trying, just give them that $1 really just makes a huge impact on who they are today and who they're going to become later. And then when you share about the fact that somebody gave you a liver, I mean, that is such a huge give and a whole new life that you created since then. Talk to us a bit about how that felt and how you really took that opportunity and turned it into all the amazing things you're doing today.
Yeah, it changed my life. I absolutely became more passionate and empathetic to people, especially people going through cancer. My mom had liver cancer. My uncle had pancreatic cancer. So it really taught me to help people that are dealing with that kind of trauma. It changed my life in the fact that I needed to. I found God. I found my spirituality. So I actually found my direction in life, and this is what I'm living now, is actually boots on the ground and helping people myself and trying to get the world together to help our initiative to spread this around the world.
Oh, I couldn't love it more. You talked about all the things that you've done. I'm just so impressed by everything that you're doing, to help the world and as a whole. And I love that so much. I know you've kind of rebranded as the Kym Rapier Foundation. Talk to us about how that came to be and what your intentions are moving forward. I know you have so many partnerships coming up, and I'm so excited to share that with our audience.
Yes, it was Kym's Angels, and we wanted to go bigger and do a 501c3 and spread it around the world. So we're trying to partner with people around, like-minded people around the world that want to actually change the world, change the way people think. We're all the same. We're all human. And if we all join together and join forces, we could actually change the world. The way people think. It's not about politics. Politics and all that has nothing to do with anything. We're all human. So that's what our initiative is to try to get people to donate and all gather together to change people's lives.
What a great mission that is. If you could go back to your 6-year-old self, what would you tell yourself when you were 6 years old, if you could tell her something right now?
Oh my gosh. Keep going. It's worth it. It's worth the drive to keep going and keep that fire in you. You can light a fire under so many people, and that's what we're trying to do, is light something inside of people, ignite people to even give $1, even give $5, and just all join together in making the world a better place.
Great words of advice. So can you tell the audience where they can find you? They can learn out more about you and all you do. Give them all the details to your website and how they can get in touch.
Yes, our website is the Kym Rapier Foundation.org, KymRapierFoundation.org. And then our Instagram is the Kym Rapier Foundation, Kym Rapier Foundation. That's on Instagram. You can follow us.
I love it so much. Everybody who's watching today, thank you so much for spending your time with us, and find out more about Kym and what she's all about and see how you can help. That's what's the most important thing. It's like seeing how we can engage with others and really make a difference in this world. It doesn't have to be a big, giant, grand gesture. It's something small you can do right now in your community. So thank you so much for being on today. And for everybody who's watching this episode, I want you to go to the website. I want you to find out more. And if you can, make a donation. $1 or $5 multiplied by the many people we have watching this episode or listening to this episode today really makes a huge impact to this nonprofit. And we really are grateful for every single thing that you do week after week. So we look forward to seeing you all next week. And thank you so much, Kym, for being on today. You have just really shined a light on so many things that we all need to really think about.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. All right, everybody. We'll see you all next week. And thank you again for tuning in. If you enjoyed this episode of Little Give, head on over to our website at littlegive.com. You'll be able to find all the information about previous episodes and past guests that we've had on. If you or someone you know would like to be a guest on Little Give, all the information is also on the website. And if you have a nonprofit that you love and would like to recommend be on the show, all of that information is also on the website. We really appreciate you watching today, and we can't wait to see you again next week.